Hi virtual croppers, my name is Beck Frankie and I'm an advisor in New South Wales, Australia, and it's my pleasure to have the honour to share with you a layout for sketch 3 for our September worldwide virtual crop. I chose to complete this sketch using the Sunrays for Days papers. I found it to be nice and bright and colourful and perfect for the 2 portrait photos that I've chosen for the layout today. The feature of this page that I'd like to share with you is the semicircle that I have turned into a sun using some of our Creative Memories tools. And so that's what I'm going to show you in this video. To start with, we're going to take the yellow paper from the Sunrays for Days pack and cut out using our circle cutter a 3-inch circle. After we have our 3-inch circle, we need to cut it into 2 halves. And a great way to do that is another function of our 12-inch trimmer, which has the ability to be able to turn any sized circle into 2 perfect halves. And we're going to do that today by butting our circle up in between the 2 indented grooves here, either side of where our blade goes. So I'm going to butt those up against the edge there. Close our blade over and cut through. You may find that because the circle goes up and further than where the blade reaches, that you may need to just do a slight little fussy cut at the end to trim that off, and you'll find that you'll get 2 beautifully halved circles, and that works for any sized circle. So now that we have our semicircle, we're going to create the sun rays that will go onto our semicircle. And I've chosen the tool of the zebra stripe punch to do our sun rays today. I thought this is a nifty way of using this tool for a different purpose. And we know that lots of our tools can be used in so many different ways, that this is just another creative way of being able to turn what we've put as part of our zoo collection into other things like suns. So to do that, we're going to cut some of our yellow using our border maker system. Putting it into our border maker housing, making sure that it's all lined up correctly. Now there are multiple ways you could do this. If you wanted to be really fussy, you could use each of these little cutouts and stick them all behind your semicircle, and you could get it that way. But the way that I've thought of is a little quicker and a little easier, and that's using the actual piece here. We'll use our 12-inch trimmer to now cut this off as it is left onto the whole piece of paper. Now, because we want rays, we don't need a border on this other side. So therefore, when we can cut short of that and just have the one border on the side to keep all of our pieces in place. So it doesn't have to be all the way through. So when we line it up, we can make sure that we are not getting that extra edge on. We're actually cutting that piece off so that we have like a fringe. Once we have our fringe, then to help us to be able to use this on the semicircle or on the curve of our circle, I'm just going to put some little cuts down into the base of our fringe every so often in between where our actual fringe pieces are. And these are going to help give us that bit of a bend so that we can manipulate it around our semicircle. We won't need the whole strip, so you don't have to go all the way along, but just about 3/4 of it to make sure that you have enough to get around your circle. The next thing that we need to do is to put some repositionable tape around the semicircle, which is where we will adhere our rays. Then starting at the end, it's just a matter of sticking it down and then gradually working our way around using those little slices as a way of being able to turn on our semicircle. And the biggest thing to make sure is that we are hiding that strip that we've done our little cuts into. Once we get to the end, then we can just trim off the excess. And we have a cute little sun using the zebra stripe border maker cartridge. If you wanted to take that another step further, one of the coordinating cardstock colours is the golden rod. You could repeat the same cutting of the zebra border maker and do the same procedure of putting that in and perhaps positioning it between or even cutting them shorter to get that second layer of colour through there as well, which would also look pretty cute. So then it's a matter of, now that we have our sun, just trim that little bit of excess off there. Now we can add it to our page. Using my multi-purpose tool, I'm just going to lift some of this and position it underneath to a point where I'm happy and it gives me enough space from my border at the top. I'm going to not put any tape on the sun rays, so I thought it might be nice to just have them to be a bit raised and a bit fluffed to give it that bit more of dimension. And there you have it. So some other features of the page that I've chosen to do with these beautiful embellishments that came as part of the Sun Rays for Days is I've chosen to layer these laser cuts. It's amazing, they lined up perfectly for the sunglasses to sit on the suns, and I thought that was just beautiful for a nice children's page. Just adds that bit of character and a bit of cuteness for the kids. I've also chosen to put some foam squares under my summer title, which just pops it up from underneath the photo and underneath the journal box as well. I've got some vellum as my journal box because I really loved the orange colour underneath to help pop the page a little, and I didn't want to lose too much of that. But you can also just put some white cardstock or something underneath, or I did try putting the lettering, the journaling straight onto the card, and that was okay too. So there you have it, my Sun Rays for Days page and my girls enjoying their sprinkler time. And I hope you enjoy doing this layout as much as I did. Happy scrapping, everybody.